Hi, I'm Dr. Meghna. I'm a psychiatrist and psychotherapist, and on this channel we discuss about art for therapy. That is, we discuss about psychological issues and the ways to deal with them through the medium of books, art and literature. Today, the book that I have selected to be discussed with you is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Matthew Walker is a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley, and he is a sleep scientist with Google. This book was published in 2017. And why have I chosen this book to be discussed on a platform like this is because a lot of people struggle with sleep. I do see a lot of patients with insomnia, but they don't take sleep seriously. People take diet and exercise very seriously because they think it is directly related to their health, but not sleep. Also, if people know that they have to do something about sleep, they really don't know what exactly they should be doing about it. So in this video, we'll talk about those things as well. So the first question that we discuss is why we sleep, and the second part we discuss why can't we sleep even if we want to. So the first part is why we sleep. Not only human beings, but even animals sleep. And if sleep was something which was redundant, because it sounds very redundant, it is a part of the day, almost 7 to 8 hours a day, which means 1/3 of our time. The entire human species is just sleeping. It is not spending this time trying to acquire food or knowledge or looking after its young ones. So why has evolution given us sleep? Definitely it must be having some very important benefits, otherwise evolution would have weeded it out of us long back. The answer that Matthew Walker offers in his book is that it has tremendous mental health and physical health benefits. The mental health benefits are similar to hitting the save button on your computer. So our brain is constantly absorbing a lot of information through the sense organs, through our eyes, ears, through smell and touch. We absorb a lot of information from our surroundings. And when we sleep, our brain compiles this information. It consolidates this information into the memory loops. It would be like absorbing a lot of information but forgetting to hit the save button on your computer. Would you really want to do that? The other part, which is also important, is that it also affects the ability of the brain to absorb information. I'm sure every one of us would have noticed that if we don't sleep properly, our ability to process information and to be really involved in what is happening all around us goes down. Hence, it is very essential for our mental health. The second part is to do with physical health. There have been very strong correlation between low sleep or insomnia and cancer, to the extent that the WHO has said that low sleep or occupations which cause frequent disruptions of sleep have higher tendencies to develop cancer, and they have been labeled as carcinogens or carcinogenic occupations. It has very strong correlation with stroke, with heart disease, with diabetes and obesity. Thus, if you sleep well, you are naturally protected against a lot of diseases. In his book, Matthew Walker says that if sleep was offered as a drug in the market, it would be probably the most oversubscribed drug and it would have the greatest profit margins. But alas, it is available to us for free and at our disposal. Probably that is why we don't take it seriously. The second part that we'll talk about is why don't we sleep as much as required? So there are three parts to it, or three answers to it. The first one has to do with our attitude, the second with our habits, and the third with some underlying mental stress or some mental illness. To come to the attitude part, because of the economy and probably some cultural influences, definitely I would say American culture, it looks down upon sleep. It looks down upon sleep as something which is counterproductive, and hence people who tend to sleep at work or while they are studying, if they sleep a lot, they are made fun of. Whereas in certain Asian cultures or in European countries, a midday siesta is a part of the routine, it's a part of the culture. But because of the growing economy and growing Americanization of the world, even these cultures have started to look down upon the midday siesta. Also, in our schools and colleges, if there is an impending examination, it is very routine to pull out a all-nighter. However, if these students knew that if they have pulled out an all-nighter, the chances that their performance would decrease by 40% in the examination, probably they would not do that. And hence, the lack of knowledge, lack of information, and also the attitude affects the way we sleep. The second reason why we don't sleep enough is because of some of our habits. Like, for example, reading something from your mobile while you're sleeping, or having too much coffee, or the notion that taking alcohol just before you go to sleep will induce sleep. These are all wrong habits and wrong notions. It has been proven that the blue light on our mobile screens and our laptops actually stimulate our brain to think that it is daylight, and our brain cannot sleep. It has been proven that coffee decreases sleep, and alcohol actually does not induce sleep, it sedates you. That is, it knocks off your cortex and you feel sleepy, but it's not actually sleep, because when you wake up, you don't wake up restored. In fact, you wake up feeling not refreshed and probably sleepy again. The third reason why we don't sleep enough is because of the underlying mental condition, or because of anxiety or stress. A good suggestion that Matthew Walker has given in his book and talks, if anxiety is your reason for not being able to fall asleep, is to do meditation. He says that he is a hardwired neuroscientist, and when he actually started looking at data and experimenting himself with meditation to fall asleep, he thought it's a bit of a woo-woo science. But actually no, meditation actually calms down your brain before and puts it into the mood, or I should say it induces those brain waves which can lead to sleep. He also suggests writing a worry journal if anxiety is the cause of your sleeplessness. Worry journal is something which you write probably an hour before you go to sleep, and it is actually like vomiting out your worries and anxieties into paper. That somehow helps you to relax and fall asleep. There are other suggestions also, like listening to rhythmic music, like the sound of sea waves or wind blowing. But he says in his book that this kind of data is not proven. But what is proven is that you definitely don't count sheep. It's a popular notion that if you count sheep, you tend to sleep, but actually you tend to remain awake longer. What helps is relaxing your mind, that you picture something like you're taking a long walk, or you're meditating, or you are in a very relaxed situation, and that really helps you relax and fall asleep. Also, insomnia can be one of the symptoms of underlying mental illness. Not just anxiety, but mental illnesses like mania, OCD, or bipolar disorders or schizophrenia can manifest as insomnia. And obviously the treatment would be to take care of the underlying mental illness. Now comes the most important question. What about sleeping pills? Are sleeping pills a good idea for falling asleep? And the answer is no. In fact, American College of Physicians has recommended that sleeping pills should not be used as the first line of treatment for insomnia. What is recommended instead of sleeping pills is something called as cognitive behavior therapy for insomnia. You have to, because the underlying problem or the worries or stress or mental illness needs to be treated for you to fall asleep. So why are sleeping pills not a good idea? Because sleeping pills have their own side effects, and worse, once you stop them, your insomnia rebounds. Whereas with cognitive behavior therapy for insomnia, once you have stopped your therapy sessions with your therapist, even then the effects remain and you get treated of your insomnia. In case you are dealing with the problem of insomnia, I would suggest that you read this book, Why We Sleep, and do see your therapist.